What's up, guys and pals? It's your buddy Coach Vino. So today I'm going to make you guys a little something called the Star Daisy. Now, the Star Daisy is a cocktail that goes back to the early 20th century, and it was really kind of lost to time until the late great Sasha Petrosky decided to resurrect the cocktail for his bar Milk and Honey. Now, I found the recipe to this cocktail on punch.com, and I immediately knew I had to give it a shot. I mean, for number one, it uses one of my favorite spirits, Apple Brandy, and number two, it's also a Daisy style cocktail, and I love a good Daisy cocktail. Now, what exactly is a Daisy cocktail? Well, why don't we look at its very closely related cousin, the sour cocktail, okay? Now, a sour recipe is something that has a base spirit like a gin or whiskey, and then it also includes a citrus like a lemon, a lime, or a grapefruit. And it also has a sweetener, which is usually a simple syrup or some sort of syrup. Now, famous examples of a sour style cocktail are the whiskey sour, the daiquiri, or even the gimlet is another example of a sour style cocktail. Now, what makes a Daisy cocktail? Now, a Daisy cocktail is everything that's in a sour cocktail, except it also has the addition of a liqueur. And that liqueur normally comes in the form of an orange liqueur, like a triple sec or Curacao, something like that. Now, some of the early Daisy recipes also included a little bit of club soda. Now, some very famous examples of a Daisy style cocktail are the margarita, the sidecar, and even the Cosmo is a style of Daisy cocktail. Now, I'm a big fan of both sours and of Daisies. I think they do a really great job of helping the base spirit really kind of shine, but adding enough of these really nice elements on the side of it to help brighten up the cocktail. Probably my favorite style is shaken cocktail. So I'm really excited to try the Star Daisy, but before I do that, I'm gonna need you guys to go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can help Vino feed the hungry algorithm. And make sure you stick around because we're about to boogie down. All right, so before we get started, let us look at what is in the sauce, okay? Now, this is pretty much an equal parts cocktail. I'm gonna be doing 3/4 an ounce of all our ingredients, with the exception of the simple syrup, which is gonna be 1/3 of an ounce, all right? Now, I'm gonna be using a gin. I'm using this Green Hook Gin Smith from Brooklyn, which is a little bit of a higher proof, got a little more punch to it. And then I'm gonna be using some Laird's bottled in bond Apple Brandy. Now, I have seen this recipe usually call for a higher proof Apple Brandy, so that's why I'm using it. But if you don't have that, feel free to use whatever Apple Brandy you have, and just realize, it'll have some nuanced differences in terms of the way the cocktail comes out. And that's really the same thing even for our orange liqueur, okay? I'm gonna be using a Dry Curacao, which is a Perrier Ferrand. But if you don't have this and you want to use something like triple sec, or you want to use Cointreau, or even a Grand Marnier, which is probably closest in style to this one, you should feel free to do so. Again, realizing that when you do switch out certain things, even if they're similar, there are going to be some nuanced differences in the end result, okay? And then we're doing some lemon juice and some simple syrup, and then we're going to have our Star Daisy, right, folks? So let's go ahead and make our cocktail. All right, so let's go ahead and give our Star Daisy cocktail a sippy sip. Cheers. That's delicious, guys. I mean, if you like the sidecar, you are definitely gonna love this cocktail. It's very reminiscent of the sidecar or even like the honeymoon cocktail. This is definitely in that vein of cocktails. Absolutely delicious. Really like this. It just tastes vintage, it tastes classic, and everything really pops. I mean, the Apple Brandy just comes in really good in this one. I love this. This would be something that's gonna be a regular in my rotation of cocktails because I love these vintage classic style cocktails. The gin is definitely adding some nice juniper. You get some of the botanicals in there. work really, really well with the Apple Brandy, which just give it obviously those delicious apple notes. Great cocktail, and a great, style of daisy cocktail if you're into trying different styles of daisy cocktail, right, folks? Anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring, and life gives you lemons. Make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.